Hold up, did we just catch Kirk Frost red-handed in the biggest paternity scandal Love and Hip Hop has ever seen? Because what Karlie read just dropped on Rasheeda's lap wasn't gossip. It was a ticking DNA time bomb. And now the entire Frost family empire, hanging by a thread thinner than Kirk's excuses. Let's rewind. One sealed envelope, one flash drive. One woman said, "I've had enough." That's all it took for Rasheeda's picture-perfect reality TV marriage to implode. On camera, and the kicker. Karlie didn't whisper the truth, she projected it on a 16-inch screen with receipts. Key. Lab reports and messages that make even Maury blush. Was Kirk really out here faking fatherhood like it was part of the storyline? Swapping DNA reports like they're mixtapes? Or was this all some twisted attempt to protect the woman he allegedly loves? Because the moment Karlie clicked play, what unfolded wasn't just betrayal, it was televised treason. And baby, the streets of Atlanta haven't been the same since, so buckle up, because this isn't just reality TV gone wrong. This is Kirk's legacy unraveling, one forged signature at a time. Have you ever met someone who lies so well they start believing their own fantasy? Well, welcome to Kirk Frost's world where DNA results are optional, flash drives carry more weight than wedding vows, and protecting your family apparently means tampering with lab reports. Because what just exploded across Atlanta's reality TV circles isn't a scandal. It's a full-blown fraudulent fatherhood fiasco. And at the center of it all, Mr. Frost himself dodging accountability like it's a game of dodgeball at a paternity party. Now, let's not act brand new. Kirk Frost has never exactly been Love and Hip Hop's poster child for Husband of the Year. This is the same man who cheated, lied, gaslit Rasheeda on national television and had the nerve to look confused when she cried. But this time, it's different. This time, Karlie Red came strapped with evidence so damning, even the producers were clutching their headsets. It started with whispers. Karlie, stone-faced, telling anyone who'd listen that Kirk had forged the DNA results for his own child. Sounds dramatic? Just wait. Because she didn't just accuse him. She had a sealed envelope, a flash drive, and a voice that didn't tremble once. And when Rasheeda caught wind of it, the air left the room. You could hear a pin drop between the sound of Karlie clicking, her heels and Kirk's heartbeat tap dancing under his shirt. The alleged lie that Kirk intentionally manipulated a DNA test to make himself appear as the father of a child that wasn't biologically his. Not because he was confused, not because there was a mix-up, but because, wait for it, he didn't want to lose Rasheeda. Yep, in Kirk's twisted logic. The best way to protect your marriage is by forging medical documents and then playing dumb on national TV. And you know Karlie? She doesn't make moves unless the drama is cooked, seasoned, and served. She waited until cameras were rolling, lights were hot, and the crew was ready to roll. B-roll. Then bam, she dropped the flash drive like a grenade in a confession booth. Inside, messages between Kirk and a mysterious lab tech. One of them literally said, "Make sure Rasheeda never sees the original results." Y'all, that's not a red flag, that's a whole crimson curtain. By now, Rasheeda's mascara is fighting for its life. The producers are whispering into walkie-talkies, and Kirk is sitting there with the same expression you make when your lie gets caught in 4060 FPS. But just as the tension reaches its peak, Karlie leans in and delivers the line that sends the whole room into orbit. "So Kirk, this baby ain't yours. Then who's been lying to Rasheeda this whole time?" Kirk blinked once, twice, and then nothing. Just silence. The kind of silence that makes your skin crawl. The kind that screams guilt louder than words ever could. Rasheeda, trembling but standing tall, stared at him down like she was looking through a stranger. Her voice razor sharp. "Tell me it's not real, Kirk. Tell me that paper didn't come from you." But his jaw just clenched, sweat dripping down his temple like his lies were trying to escape his pores. Karlie, on the other hand, wasn't done, not by a long shot. She pulled up the second feel-full email thread between Kirk and some shadowy lab contact with zero chill. Lines like "doctorate" before she finds out, and "this can't trace back to me" scrolled across the screen like a digital obituary for Kirk's reputation. The room froze. Even the camera guy lowered the rig for a second. Because you don't need cinematic angles when the truth is already a knockout punch. Then came the flash. Drive's final blow, a video clip. Not grainy, not blurred, clear as daylight. Kirk, speaking into a phone, telling someone he was afraid Rasheeda wouldn't stay if she knew the real test. It wasn't just a confession. It was a funeral for trust. The look on Rasheeda's face said it: shock, heartbreak, betrayal, and fury. And that's when the knock came at the door. Enter Rasheeda's younger sister, phone in hand, voice shaking. "There's more," she whispered, like a plot twist in a courtroom drama. She had been quietly investigating behind the elite scenes, recording phone calls, saving texts, even collecting financial receipts. And what did she had? Would send the whole living room into DEFCON-1. Receipts showing money transfers to a shady lab. Signed invoices, lab result, timestamps that didn't match. A full trail of breadcrumbs that led right back to Kirk's digital fingerprints. It was like watching a Netflix crime doc in real time. This one starred a man who thought he could outrun karma with a fake DNA envelope. Rasheeda looked like she'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. "So all this time, you lied about our child." Her voice cracked, eyes glistening. Kirk tried to reach for her, but she recoiled like his touch burned. "You let me love a child thinking he was yours. You let me build our life around a lie." Karlie stood still, vindicated. Yes, but not smug. Because even she could see the human cost was greater than the ratings. "You said you were protecting her, Kirk," she snapped. "But what did you do? Was protect your image? You didn't save your marriage, you nuked it." And Kirk, he finally spoke, voice barely a whisper. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." But Rasheeda cut him off. "It did go that far. And now, we're past apologies." The room fell silent once again till Rasheeda turned, eyes blazing. "I want the truth. All of it now." Kirk opened his mouth, but for once in his life, the man had no script, just trembling hands, a broken voice, and the weight of a lie so thick it threatened to crush the last pieces of his so-called legacy. He looked at Rasheeda, who stood like a judge in stilettos, grief in her eyes, but justice in her posture. "You want the truth?" he muttered, voice shaking. "Fine, I'll give it to you." He sank to the couch like the air had been sucked out of his chest years ago, before we were even serious. "There was a woman. We had history. She got pregnant. I panicked. I got a DNA test, but the results were inconclusive. Then we had our son, and suddenly all I could think about was proving I was good enough to be a father." He looked up. "I didn't trust the process. I trusted control." Rasheeda's lips parted, stunned. "So instead of trusting me, you chose control," she whispered. Karlie stepped in, shaking her head. "He didn't just choose control, he chose manipulation. He didn't just forge some papers, he rewrote a whole future." And just as the tears began to surface, again Rasheeda's cousin came barreling in like a plot device sent straight from drama heaven. "Wait," she gasped, waving her phone. "There's one more thing." She had dug up an email trail between Kirk and the same lab contact, except this one was even more damning. It's payments, timestamps, and bingo, a memo that read, "B. Sure the doctored results match what she expects. Will bill as usual." The room. Dead silent. Kirk, knees buckled. The man was now on the floor, hands gripping his face, as if trying to tear the lie off his own skin. "I thought it would fix everything," he whispered. "You broke everything," Rasheeda replied, her voice now eerily calm. "You made me. Carry love built on fraud. You played God with my family." Karlie walked over to Rasheeda, hand extended not in triumph, but in solidarity. You're not crazy, you're not overreacting. You were lied to. For the first time, Rasheeda took her hand, forming an unexpected sisterhood born in the rubble of betrayal, and the camera crew. Oh, they were catching every tremor, every glance, every collapsed wall in real time as the scene slowed. Production handed Rasheeda a final sealed envelope from a private investigator. Inside, lab receipts, altered signatures, and voice recordings of Kirk confessing he needed to be seen as the man she believed in. And just like that, the final brick of denial fell. Rasheeda's face didn't crumble this time. It hardened. She stepped back, her voice steady. I need time. And until then, you don't get access to me or my peace. Kirk sat frozen, tears streaking silently as the cameras zoomed in on him, on the envelope, and on the woman who finally chose herself. Because this wasn't just about a lie. This was about how far a man would go to protect his image and how far a woman must go to reclaim her truth. Was this the end of the Frost family, or just the beginning of a bigger storm? Should Rasheeda forgive Kirk, or leave him in the ruins of his own deception? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe, because the next twist is already on its way.